Welcome to Northwest Profiles, a look at people, places, and events of interest in the inland Northwest.
From the outside, as well as the inside too, this small corner grocery located in the heart of downtown Newport, Washington, looks a lot like any other grocery store. However, this food store, known as Owen's Grocery, is different. Different because in many ways it has remained essentially the same since it opened for business over 50 years ago. The year was 1938, and although the country was still feeling the lingering effects of the Depression, former World War I veteran Robert T. Owens decided to make a go of it in the grocery business.
I'm sure that it was quite a challenge for him, a big decision for Mom and Dad to make. He had, I think, $1,500 in what he called a World War I bonus that he had set aside, and the groceries he hauled out from Spokane in our car, just a four-door sedan, and when we needed something, why, he would go to town, pick it up, and bring it out. We featured things that was local. The milk, of course, we had little dairies around. We had milk where the glass milk bottles, you know, where the cream come up on the top like so, and so he featured things like that. I have one sister. There was the two of us at home, and I guess that the folks just said, hey, we've got to raise those kids some way, and so they just went all out and said, work hard, and of course both of them worked, my mother too. They worked hard in the store to make it.
And make it, the Owens family did. Today, 5 decades and 3 generations later, the family-owned and operated grocery store is still thriving. A real achievement considering the scores of mom-and-pop groceries that have been squeezed out of business in the last 20 years by the big supermarket chains. However, contrary to what you might expect, the success of Owen's Grocery has not hinged on the store's ability to adapt to the changing times, but rather on the store's willingness to preserve as well as practice the old-fashioned ways of doing business. Sure, it's true the store's operation has grown and modernized over the years, yet Owen's Grocery's basic recipe for doing business has always remained the same. One man who knows is Bob Owens, Jr. Bob not only grew up in the store, but he also, up until recently, managed the store for many years after taking over for his father in 1968.
I follow along a whole lot along the same guidelines that he had. Every little store here in town had a free delivery service. Everyone had numerous charge accounts, which are getting scarce now. We have the few favorite or choice ones, the loyal ones left, and we still have that. I think, as far as I know, we've always delivered from the day he started the store in 1938 until we still are delivering. This delivery service has turned out to be quite beneficial now to the seniors. We have apartments here in town for the senior citizens. All they have to do is grab the phone and give us a call, and we'll see that they get their bread or milk or whatever it is. We don't have a minimum delivery. We charge absolutely nothing for the delivery. It's just kind of great to help those folks out. As we go along in business, it seemed like every store had their little feature. We had a market up the street, a couple blocks up the street. He was a Scandinavian, so it was his priorities to go to his market to find the lutefisk. This is a Scandinavian town, so therefore the lefse and the lutefisk, the potato sausage idea, that was his thing. And so when he got out of business, why, the town still was craving it. They still want it. They still do today. So therefore, we buy the lutefisk and the whole fish, and we also have the potato sausage. We have the lefse.
Coupled with the friendly, old-fashioned ways of doing business, Owen's Grocery over the years has also managed to incorporate some brand new ideas, unique to the grocery business.
Several years ago, we were making sandwiches here in the store. I kind of made them in the back room and put them out every day. One of the bread salesmen says, hey, this is a good idea for you. So I took him up on it. I think he gave me the first package of buns. And we started making a submarine sandwich is all we had. And that went over real big for years. We also made our own pizzas. The sandwich idea led into the delicatessen. There was a need for it here, we felt, and our big thing today is a delicatessen, from the sandwiches to the hot case, the roasted chicken. We have soft ice cream, and we do some catering.
The fusion of new and old ways of doing business, while very important to the success of Owen's Grocery, it is still not the most important factor. That distinction belongs to the age-old notion of family.
There was numerous other stores here in town that, and we are the surviving one, but they vanished. I don't think anybody for lack of business. It was a matter of maybe them getting old and nobody to carry on for them. One good friend of mine had the store up the street. He featured the meat market part. He was a butcher. He passed away with a heart attack, and his widow just couldn't carry on. So this is really what happened to the other stores.
The commitment of the Owens family to keep alive the business started by Robert T. Owens in the winter of 1938 is as strong today as it ever was. In fact, the family recently entered into its third generation of grocery store operation.
A year ago, our son Rod come back and took over. I was just going along, very similar to this, but it was very timely because, and I didn't really realize it at the time, I don't think, but now I can see it's where it was a great thing that he did come home. I guess I was probably getting tired like my dad did, not keeping up with things, and maybe I would make a remark sometimes that I shouldn't have and feel bad about. So the time was great. Our son has increased the business and with new ideas.
Despite a new generation of operation, it's clear Rod Owens will, like his father before him, temper his fresh new approach to the business with the good old ways of the past, started long ago by his grandfather.
Things have really changed as far as the little corner grocery. It was the big fad that in, say, early 60s that things were going to the big stores. Supermarkets, the little corner markets were almost a thing of the past. When a generation died, that was the end of the store. I think things now are coming back to the convenience stores. Like I say, the people that can't get out or need help, don't drive anymore, or bad weather or whatever. As far as deliveries, well, corporately, you've never heard of a delivery service in a big store, and that's the things that we have the time to do.
As for the future of Owens Grocery, one might say it looks pretty good. But as usual, it all depends on the family.
I have one grandson that'll soon be he's actually active in here now, working with us. So maybe eventually, if we can hang on in this type of business, maybe we'll make the fourth generation.
If you have a topic for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, South 3911 Regal, Spokane, Washington 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS TV.